nailed it. Oh, who just joined in? Gaganesh Gold, Arthur Pirakanjuba Silver, Garid Garcia, Browns, and then the rest of y'all. You're here too. I just winked at you. You couldn't tell I was wearing the glasses. If you don't love you anymore, just walk that fine ass out the door. What are we doing, folks? What are we doing? Arm wrestle Henry Cavill? Okay. I'll work that out. Just for you, crazy person. Tell me if the volume of the music is too loud or not loud enough. How am I? Pilar Sant asks. I'm groovy. Thank you. It's a super strange time in the world right now, obviously, and all of us feel that. And I obviously, you know, it's difficult to not feel all of the sadness and all of the pain that is being felt in a lot of parts of the world by a lot of people in the world. But as I said before, I think this time, first of all, I'm in a complete place of privilege and to be able to speak to this, being where I am and who I am and everything. And I'm not stressing on a lot of things that a lot of other people are stressing on. But I see that stress, and I empathize with that stress, and that fear and that anxiety and depression and all of the things that come from that. But I do believe on the other side of this is a better world. I am believing it with everything in my heart. I don't think it's a foolish thing to believe. I think we're feeling it, a lot of that too. And all of this pain and all of this sadness is going to be growing pains toward a better world. And that's where I want to go. And that's where I believe we are going. But we still got to work together. We got to figure it out, guys. We got to figure it out. And that's going to start with loving ourselves, right? We love ourselves so that we might love others as best we can, as most efficiently and most effectively and most responsibly and most selflessly as we can. So all of that gives me a lot of hope. That's what I see in the future. I really do. Come hell or high water, one way or another, we're going to get there, and we can rebuild a lot of this shit that's broken in the world right now. Come on, let's do it. What better time than now to let this shake the foundation of all of the nonsense that we've been subscribing to for so long, because that's the only thing we knew, all of us collectively. We didn't know better, and now we do, kind of, right? So let's all just forgive each other, be like, okay, we didn't know better. Let's move forward. Let's use this as the clean slate, the tabula rasa. Let's go. Let's do it. We can do it. I believe in us. Come on. Yeah, if we all stick together. Well, listen, guys. If we don't stick together, clearly it's not gonna work. But I think it's gonna become easier to stick together when we can finally just acknowledge that we're all the same meat bag walking around. I don't care what the color of your skin is, your faith, your sex, your religion, whatever. You're the same meat bag. The same virus can kill you as it can kill me. We're in it together. Let's start acting like it. In love. In love. Binge watching Chuck on Amazon Prime. It's a solid decision, my friend. Solid decision. You know what? I suppose we're more water bags than we are meat bags, aren't we? We're just bags of water. Oh, man. Oh, man. Jars of clay. My favorite color is pink. Of certain hues. Almost all hues, but I like hot pinks. I like neon. I'm an 80s baby. I like rocking neon all the time. And I'm also like a crazy extrovert, and a 7, like a plum on the nose 7-7, equal wings 6 and 8 on the Enneagram scale. An EN either way P on the Myers-Briggs. I just like dance parties and having fun and bringing joy to people and bringing love to people. Sí, español y también. Bellissimo. I need to work on my Spanish. Hola, Peru. Am I reading anything? Currently reading these messages that are scrolling on the bottom of the screen. It's my latest read. It's a real page turner. It turns its own pages. I should help you with your Spanish homework. I don't want you to fail, my friend. I think I would take you down with my inability to speak Spanish correctly. Hola, Argentina. Never heard this song, but I like a good bass line. Thank you so much, Gina Mitchell, 1206. Thank you for holding Nick Cordero up in your prayers. So appreciated. For anybody out there, also, if you're praying for Nick, thank you for your prayers. If you don't know who Nick is, Nick Cordero is an incredible man, an incredible talent, new husband and father, Broadway actor that I knew when I was in New York. We were in different shows, but just kindred spirits, and I just love him so much. And he recently moved to LA, just had a baby, just got married and just had a baby, and got hit with COVID. It got bad. They had to put him under an induced coma, medically induced coma, to put him on a ventilator, and then that went okay-ish, and then they were pulling him off the ventilator. He got a lung infection, then they had to treat the lung infection, then he had a problem with his leg, and he had to have his leg amputated. He is still sleeping. They're still waiting for him to come out of that sleep. All of his friends and family, including myself, are holding hands in spirit and in faith that he is going to be okay. For all of the people out there that have felt compelled to pray for him and his family, his wife Amanda, his baby boy Elvis, thank you for those prayers. Continue to bring those prayers, and not only that he would survive this, but that he will thrive from this, and that they will have an incredible life and an incredible testimony to share about just gnarly, just one of I'm sure many incredible adventures and testimonies that will come out of this time. And let's all just be lifting each other up in prayer regardless in general, shall we? Shall we just all, I don't just in that quiet time that you have with yourself, with God, the universe, however you want to address that greater being, that the author and creator, as you do that, potentially, if you could lift that positive thought to just the world in general, that we would make it through this, that we would learn to love ourselves and value ourselves, and learn to love each other and value each other, and work together and share and create and all of the things that we can, and I believe will do. We have the ability. We just have to want it, and not hate our way there, but love our way there. I think it's my humble opinion, anyway. This stuff is kind of tricky, isn't it? Like, how can there not be anything in there and yet something in there? Like, what? No calories, no sugar. How? Where's the flavor come from? Where? Konnichiwa, Japan. I was just there. Oh my God, I had such a great time in Japan. If y'all ever get a chance to go to Japan, I highly recommend it. Go. I've been to Tokyo and Kyoto both twice, and just had a dream both times. Last time I went to Tokyo, and we went to Team Labs. One of the most extraordinary experiences in my entire life. I want to bring a Team Labs to America. I think it might be expanding it here. Go check them out online. And we did Team Lab Galaxies. We did 2 of them, but the first one we did was the most incredible one. I think it was Team Lab Galaxies or something like that. It was an incredible, I keep saying incredible. It was a tactile not labyrinth that you necessarily can get lost in, but a whole, just a bunch of hallways and paths that would lead you to tactile rooms that were, you had to take your shoes off. You would walk through water. You would walk over like these soft suede panels on the ground, or a room full of bean bags. And it was all just, it was incredible. I can't even explain it. It was just incredible. So if you get a chance, go check that out. Also, hopefully I'll be able to build one in the States, and, you know. Come on, you can't be hating on no Katy Perry, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? I knew Katy a long time ago, when we were both like babies in the industry, in our respective industries. Anyway, we used to karaoke at Dimples in Burbank. It was a riot. A riot. Walter May, you know I do. Do you know Katy, Walter? Do you know Katy? Walter, what are you doing, bro? Get out here, bro. G'day, Australia. It's gotta be, if it's 10 o'clock, 10:30 here. What time is it in Australia? If it's 10:30 in Austin, Texas. Hey, everybody. Hey. What did you carry? I don't remember. We didn't karaoke. We didn't do a duet. We both were there in the same group then. I think you were there that night. I don't remember what we karaoke. Bless you. Paraguay, hola Paraguay. Amor de México. Y para tú también. Are there blue bonnets at Wildwood? There's blue bonnets in the area. I don't know that we necessarily have any. Wait. What was that, Walt? Damn it, go back. She did Diamonds Are a Girl with His Friend? Really? That's what she did that night? What did I sing that night? Oh, I did a Frank Sinatra song. Yeah, probably. I don't know. You got to go to the old wheelhouse, bro. That's how you got to do that shit. What do I think about Taylor Swift? I think she's pretty dope, too. I don't know. I think she's talented. I think, 1989, right? That was the name of that album, Taylor Swift album, right? 1989. That was a fantastic. I've actually talked about this in my live before. That's a fantastic album. Lots of little bops and ditties in there. And I think a lot of like depth and stuff. I think that it was a culmination of a lot of her growing as an artist and as a person. And yeah, I dug it.
What was that documentary you watched?
I haven't seen the documentary yet. I've heard good things though. Yeah, I've heard it's interesting. I know. Who doesn't love Sinatra? That's right. Hermanos de Jonas. See? I'm pretty sure that Ryan Tedder wrote this with them, produced this with them. I think so. It sounds like a Tedder tune. Hashtag Tedder tune. Can you sing Feeling Good? Birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me. And I'm feeling good. Well, that's all I'm gonna do because I don't want to be competing with, I got Jonas Brothers rocking my face off right now. Like. Any questions tonight? How's everybody doing? Is it Monday? It's Monday, right? It's Monday. It's Monday. Happy Monday. Walter, Whataburger is not better than In-N-Out. I don't know what you're talking. It's not that I don't appreciate a Whataburger, but it's not better than an In-N-Out. I'm sorry, you're not gonna. It's not. You can't. There's nothing that you can do. I mean, Whataburger can try. If Whataburger wants to go get some of those same types of ingredients and preparations, I'll give them a shot. But fortunately, there's an In-N-Out in Austin, so I don't have to travel too far. First place I'm looking toward visiting. Once we can do that stuff again, I don't know. That's a good question. To be perfectly honest, I've really enjoyed being home. I know that's not the case for everybody. I know a lot of people are really bummed being stuck at home, but I'm really grateful for my home. I'm grateful for the people at my home. Yeah, I'm just. It's such a weird time that it's difficult to even know how to feel, right? Like, should you feel guilty if you're feeling okay? Should you feel guilty if you even see a lot of the silver linings or things that are happening in the world right now? I don't think you should, personally. But I also understand why, because I also struggle with that. Like, when I go, why do I feel guilty about that? And it's because you have a heart, you have empathy, because there are people that aren't experiencing that, whatever level of positive experience you might be having or hoping, or seeing before us, And so we feel bad about that. And I think that makes us, I think that's good in the sense that it makes you realize they're a human being, but we also have to be able to push beyond that and say, no, it's okay to be hopeful. It's okay to be even happy, even in like look at and embracing the good that is available to many of us, like reconnecting with ourselves and each other, parents spending more time with kids and vice versa. And for some people that's driving you crazy. For other people, it's the greatest gift ever. So I don't know. And all of the things we're doing right now to shake up all of this nonsense and have a better world. So anyway, blah, 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 blah. Buddhism doesn't think hope is cool. I don't know what that means exactly. Meaning, if you're a Buddhist, then you're not wishing for your circumstance to be different one way or the other, so therefore you wouldn't hope for something. Maybe that's what that person was referring to. I don't know. Maybe. I'm not a Buddhist. I'm not a Buddhist. I don't know. I joke. I say that my Christianity often feels more Buddhist than Baptist. I've said that before, but then people go, oh, he says he's a Buddhist. I'm like, well, I'm not saying that either. I'm just saying I came up being a Christian in my journey in spirituality, and I still value a lot of the wisdoms that I have learned and have been sown into me by very caring, knowledgeable, wise people throughout my life, and the lessons that I've learned on my own in that journey with God, just me and God walking. But I do think there's a lot of stuff in just, I don't know, religious Christianity, in modern organized religious Christianity that I just don't jive with personally. And I don't also think it jives with the actual Bible or who Jesus was or was about. I think there's a better version of all that we have yet to reach. And I think it's okay to even have those questions and have those feelings. And a lot of people who are Christians feel like you can't question any of it because then you don't love God or something. And I think that's a lie. I think that's a lie from the pit of hell. I don't think God has any problem with us questioning anything. God is not concerned with us questioning God. God is everything. Anyway, that's what's up. I don't even know how I ended up on that tangent, but sometimes I do that. I'm verbose and tangential. I warn people often, so, Oh, Buddhist and Baptist. That's right. That's what we were talking about. What does my shirt say? It says Aviator Nation, Austin, Texas. I love the tangents too. Thank you, Mallory. I appreciate that. I just like being able to speak as authentically as I can, as often as I can. And I often find that I speak tangentially because if I'm being as honest as I can in that moment, because it'll bring me to a thought and then it's a fresh thought and then I need to talk about that thing, which is not always the best way to lay out information, but It's cool. It's cool. I'm gonna love me. I'm gonna do me. I'm gonna love me. You know what I mean? Best go-to dance move? Like a little body roll, probably. Like something like that. I can get some real whip into that body roll too. Like, is this Watermelon Sugar? I've not. This is the first time I've heard this song, I think. I just like put on random Spotify playlists sometimes. Nerd HQ, yeah, it's definitely gonna come back. I don't know when or how exactly. I was going down a line with that. I thought we were close actually to popping it back up again, but that wasn't the case. But that's okay, because God is good and the timing will work out exactly as it's supposed to work out, and we'll be good. Although it's gonna be a different world here on out, guys. Like, I mean, I don't know how much any of y'all have been given much thought to all this stuff, but like conventions. And I loved going to conventions. Any of you guys who met me at conventions, you know that. Like, I dug meeting you, and like I think that's a really cool way to basically get paid to bring people happiness and joy. Like, it's the dopest job ever. But I don't know what that's going to look like now in the future. I really don't. I mean, I don't know what social gatherings are going to look like. Certainly not the rest of this year, and I don't even know beyond that until before we have a vaccine and. People like Bill Gates, who seem to know a pretty large amount on the subject of COVID-19 and just pandemics in general, believe that we're 18 to 24 months away from having a vaccine, which means that all of the ways that we used to do life, I mean, guys, we got to, buckle up. And again, I do believe it'll be a better world on the other side of all of it, but there's going to be a really interesting transitional period here. And we got to remain somewhat malleable for our own sake, for the sake of others. We got to figure out how this is all going to like settle down in. And it's some of it's going to fucking suck. Some of it's going to not feel good. Some of it will feel very unfair. It already does for a lot of people, right? But on the other side of this, we will have figured out new systems by which I think life will ultimately be better and richer, oddly. I think we'll be able to figure out work-life balance. I mean, look at what we're doing right now. And I'm not even a parent. but look at what we're doing right now. Just with everybody being able to do Zoom meetings and FaceTiming and all. There's a lot of commerce that's still rolling because we've gotten to the point in the digital age where we've sustained that. Like, that's pretty impressive. For a global society, we got to ourselves to a place where even a global pandemic doesn't completely shut down every industry, and some industries only a little bit. There's something very interesting about that. That stuff's just going to keep becoming more available and better, and so therefore people don't necessarily have to go to the office to do a lot of jobs. In the future, they can still work from home, which means they can, it at least gives them the ability to have a better opportunity to balance their work life with their children, with being in touch with one another in their family or whatever that is, Again, I don't have kids. I have no idea what it's like to be quarantined with kids right now of any age. And I'm grateful that I don't have to do that right now. I can focus on other things, but I can only imagine that is one of the things, like I've said before, here's some silver linings of all of this. Kids who hated going to school can't wait to go back. People who hated their job can't wait to go back. Teachers that were feeling underappreciated can guarantee that their parents that are having to teach those kids now are appreciating them greatly. You know what I mean? So the environment, all of it, we're getting some really incredible gratitude checks, really incredible, sobering looks at what we have been taking for granted. And that's a beautiful thing. I also think it's quite beautiful, not just that the environment is showing such incredible signs of recuperation, but really what it's telling us is like, hey, listen, all of you little specky Homo sapiens, you can't kill me. I've had you've basically given me a cold. You might kill a bunch of yourself and a lot of life with you, but the Earth's still like super robust. I take a little comfort in that, and the Mother Earth concept of like she's going to outlive all this. You know what I'm talking about? But regardless, we shouldn't be fucking it up right now for us or for all of the life on the planet right now. Why don't we do it way more groovier and all live better lives? Because we can do it, guys. It's all possible. It's all possible. Anyway. What am I most grateful for right now? Feeling like I'm being used for my purpose in life. Anytime I feel like I am walking where I was made to walk, where I was designed to tread, I'm most amplified and happy and productive and grateful. Yeah. And also I'm super grateful for my neon green glasses that Oakley gave me a long time ago. They're frog skins, I think. That's the frog skins. I love them. I love them. Oakley, let's make, maybe you already make these, but if you don't already make these, let's design eco-friendly, non-plastic frog skins. Can we do it? Come on, Oakley. Come on, Oakley. Because I want to make this stuff, but I want it to be able to like not hurt anything. You know what I mean? If it does. And I don't know. Maybe these already are. Maybe in a year in sandy water they decompose. I don't know. But shouldn't we be doing that with everything? I mean, as best we can. Shouldn't we just, if we have the technology, shouldn't we just do it? If something can be better, shouldn't it be better because it's better for everyone? Shouldn't we just do that? How do I deal with failure? Just Autonima asks, great question. Well, fortunately, I deal with it better now than even not too long ago when I dealt with it horribly, and I dealt with it horribly most of my life. I felt like a failure all the time, and I beat the shit out of myself because of it. But that was all because I never learned how to love myself. And I'm so grateful that I figured that out at 37 years of age. But that was at the root of most of my issues. And so, and I felt crazy high levels of perfectionism because of the life that I grew up with, and but so I felt like I was failing all the time and underwater with that and the anxiety and everything that came from that. But I defer to all of the very wise people who have come before me in that, or I'll echo, or at least the paraphrase of what they all kind of say, which is that failure is not bad. Failure is actually quite a good thing. It's a learning thing. If you allow it to be a learning thing, then failure is not a failure in itself. You know what I mean? If you don't achieve what you were shooting for, it doesn't mean you have failed the entire mission of ultimately achieving that. You are just taking a step in that direction. In the same way that, we put so much pressure and judgment on ourselves. But imagine a baby. Imagine when you were a baby. And your parents, and you were just crawling. You were crawling, and everyone couldn't wait for you to get up and start walking. And it took forever. You would crawl everywhere before you first started walking around until you could finally, and you were falling. Imagine if you fell the first time. You went from crawling, you got up on 2 feet, and you started to walk. You fell, and then you just gave up trying to walk. And you've been crawling around since you were a year old. Emotionally or mentally. Think about that. I've never even thought about that. I'm just thinking about that right now. I'm thinking about it right now, and I'm saying it for the first time as I'm thinking about it. But think about that. I mean, it's the same thing. We don't just give up physically, and nobody lets us give up physically, unless we actually can. Some people are born and they aren't able to ultimately because of whatever, things that they may have been born with. But barring those situations, you don't give up learning how to stand up and walk physically when you're a child. Oftentimes we do learn how to give up growing and standing and walking emotionally and mentally and spiritually based on the programming or lack thereof that we got in our lives. So, so I think failure is we got to reprogram that. We've lived in this really gnarly society, this world for a long time, where success. You, if you're not achieving, if you're not, making tons of fucking money and all of the things, if you're not succeeding, then you're failing. Then you're failing. So we have that on us all the time. There's not a lot of reprieve. If you don't, and that's all the lie that we're always being fed as well. Like, it's like, where's happiness? The lie is if you have the right house and the right spouse and the right amount of kids that go to the right schools, and you have the right jobs and the right cars and the right toys and the right amount of money and the right amount of accounts and all of that, then finally you'll be happy. Guys, I hate to tell you, that's also a lie from the pit of hell. That is a lie. That's not where happiness lay. We're being pulled apart over many decades through marketing and branding and, business doing what business does and industry doing what industry does, and doing it not always and not often at keeping life and valuing life in mind, because modern industry values profit over people and not the other way around. And I don't think that that's because the people leading those industries are evil people. I just think it's because they think that's how it works. They think, well, hey, don't hate the player, hate the game. It's like, I don't hate the player. I do hate the game. I just want to fix the game. So let's fix the game. Let's just fix it so it's more fun for everybody. This is just gamer coder talk, guys. Just, there's a glitch in the matrix. Let's get that fixed. Anyway. Man, I'm telling you, I don't know what it is about a slightly flavored carbonated version of water that makes me want to drink it so much faster, but I just do. All right, man, I really need a timer on these things. I wish I knew how long I've been going. I'm so stuffed up. It's been so polleny out here, guys. Texas has been very allergen heavy, I've had the Flonase, I've had the grapeseed oil with the erythritol in it, right? Was it grapeseed oil and erythritol?
Grapefruit extract.
Grapefruit extract. Squirting it up in the nostrils. Which famous Chris is my favorite? Oh, man. Ooh, which one? Sullivan. Chris Sullivan is my favorite famous Chris. Light it with my hands. Guys, I love all the Chris's. All of them. Pratt, Pine, Evans, Hemsworth. All very handsome men. I don't know my favorite Chuck episode, but I constantly, my kind of go-to is just Chuck versus the Beard. Not specifically because it was the first episode I directed, but also I just really enjoyed the episode, and I was really grateful for the one that the writers gave me for that. How did I get the part of Chuck? I auditioned. I just went in and auditioned for it. And Patrick Rush was the casting director. I remember it very vividly. And they had been trying to cast it for a while. and ultimately hadn't cast it yet. And I had freed up from another pilot that I had done. And then they had been passed on, so I became available again. And then I auditioned, and then I very rapidly went through the process of going through the studio and network and got the job. And I think me and Adam Baldwin were cast like first and second or something like that. And then very quickly or they knew they were going to cast that in, but they were waiting to figure out Sarah. I mean, Yvonne, fresh off the boat, came and auditioned. And oh man, that was so fun doing that table read the other day. So lovely. My posture. I got to keep my posture, huh? Gotta keep my scapula down and back. Excuse me, that should have been a lot louder. My gut's doing okay. I don't know. My gut's still, I don't know, Fakakshua. Stash your beard? I don't know. I mean, I typically rock a beard, but I might go rock a stash for a hot second. I just got the nod of approval inside. Like pull some fucking Magnum PI. I don't know. Oh, I'm so glad that you like the Flow products. I love them too. Today, my friend Sherry, she found some, like, our allergies have been kicking up. So she found this, like, pollen tea. And it's not really sweet at all. Just not much of a taste. You can taste a little bit of the kind of, I don't know, pollen-y, honey kind of taste, but not really. And I took a little bit of our greens. The collagen also, by the way, tastes amazing in it. But I used a little bit of the greens or greens powder to sweeten it and just add some, extra health and wellness to the little tea concoction. It was so tasty. I think I'm going to do that from now on. I'm going to do like a green tea with collagen. I might do green tea. Actually, I might switch that up. Yeah, I might do green. Just me talking to myself about the teas I'm going to drink tomorrow. Oh, man. Here all week, folks. Tip your waitresses. 3 things I can't live without. Ooh, that's a question and a half. I mean, I'm assuming, outside of the things that, like, I don't have to say, like, my lungs, right? Like that's a given, right? I get whatever came with me in my body. I don't know. I mean, my faith, that's for darn sure. I mean, just, I don't know, just continuing to trust that there is something far larger than me that is in and through all things and is all things and is all encompassing and all knowing and all powerful and all loving and is for me and is for us. And, if I didn't have that in my life, if I didn't ultimately kind of fall back to that at the darkest of times, which I have gone through, and even felt like I had lost my faith entirely in some of those times, but it still somehow pulled me through with the second thing. So my faith, my friends and family, my, that core, my tribe. Couldn't do life without my tribe. The amount of support and love and guidance and shoulders to cry on and literal, help hands to carry the various baggages of another person's life, that kind of shit. My faith, my tribe. I don't know. I mean, maybe just 2. Maybe all you need is your faith and your tribe. But if I had to pick a third one, it would be hoverboards, probably. My insatiable desire to create actual hoverboards. My faith, my tribe, my hoverboard. Pow! I'm gonna make bumper stickers. Actually, somebody out there go make the bumper stickers, but I'd trademark this shit. My faith, my tribe, my hoverboard. Yep. Hold on. 1 second, guys. I got a text. You know when sometimes people text you and it's so stream of consciousness as they're texting? It's like, just form your thought, then text it all together as opposed to just the strung bubbles. A string of bubbles. Hopefully a string of blue bubbles. And you're not that one like Android user screwing up a whole chat thread of Apple users, or vice versa. Guys, I'm gonna need another one. The start was really strong. Do you know what I mean? Un momento. And we're back. And we're back, everybody. Hey, thanks for all the hearts you tend to give me. Hey, explosion of hearts. Hey, there goes the hearts again. Come on. Like lava out of a volcano. Skablooey. Look at all those hearts. I'm not hating on the androids. I'm just hating on their incompatibility, okay? I mean, can't we... Thank God Apple has finally given up and on their proprietary nonsense doggle shit, and we can all just go to USB, what is it, C? USB-C, is that the new deal, whatever? Whatever the new standardized USB. Thank God. Why the hell did it take this long? It's got to be our way. We can only have plugs that plug into our things. We can't... Come on. No, I'm not drunk. Thank you very much. I'm drinking LaCroix. I'm off the sauce, darling. I've not had, like, anything to drink liquor-wise in don't know how long, like a month or something like that. Yeah, USB-C. You got it. I'm just me. You're just you, aren't you? No, I swear to God, it's not beer or anything. It's LaCroix. It's flavoured carbonated water. Water. It's bloody water. Oi, Brazil! Will I shave my beard? I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I'll probably keep, like, screwing around with it and doing different things to it. That's one of the fun things about being a dude, is facial hair. Like, you can just, because you can kind of just, like, be kind of a different person just by shaving your face differently, you know? You could be this guy, you know, the big old handlebar mustache guy. You could be the Fandral, you know, just like the mustache and the goat, you know, not even connected here, all cleaned up, none of that. You could be the lamb chops dude. I never had the balls to be the lamb chops dude. I knew some dudes that grew some wicked lamb chops. Hola, Puerto Rico. Bicycle. That was that person's message. Bicycle. Where? Flying bicycles around my head. Are they about to smack me in the face? What else, folks? Any other questions? Anybody got any questions? Questions, comments, concerns? Not reading any books right now, no. Hola, Bolivia. That was the good. That was the goods right there. Oh, that had depth and resonance and flavor. Yeah. A role from a classic film that I'd like to do. Well, I've often said I'd like to do It's a Wonderful Life, a remake of some kind of that. Not that I think, on one hand, I would never want to touch it in a million years. And on the other hand, I find it to be one of those movies that I think will be lost in antiquity, and the story would therefore might, well, I don't know. You don't really lose stories. But even if I did like a modernized version of it, it would still be doing it again, you know? So, and I just love that era in time. And, you know, and I mean, even that, you know, Jimmy Stewart and all that, you know, French. I'd be so tempted to want to do it like him too. No, Mary, don't you remember me, Mary? That's right. So those pedals. Oh man. Tony and West Side Story? I think I'm a little old for Tony and West Side Story. I don't know. Favorite modern director? That's tough. That's tough. I think that there are certain directors that I have enjoyed, let's say, more of their work than other directors, but some of those other I might have enjoyed less of a body of work of a director, but they might have a few hits that I like more than the whole body of work of another director. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It's very difficult to, and there is a lot of subjectivity and all that stuff. And you know, there's some directors that people think are just the greatest visionaries. I don't get it. I don't get it. And vice versa. People that I've said and they'll be like, they're hacks or whatever. So I don't know. That stuff gets a little interesting as you unpack it. But I don't know. Some directors that come to mind that I find to be incredibly talented and versatile and I don't know, inspiring and really inspiring even just in their depth and boldness and how wide a swath they even try to accomplish in genre. And like Danny Boyle to me is one of the most talented actors of or directors of our time. The amount of different movies he's even been able to begin to tackle, and then not even just tackle but succeed in. He's made very different, diverse types of movies, and some have worked better than others. Like I said, I mean, not everybody, they're not always like 100%, but nobody is, and we shouldn't hold anybody to that. And Paul Thomas Anderson, I find a lot of his body of work very, very, very inspired. Wes Anderson. I mean, of course, all like if you're saying modern, I mean, there are other directors that are still directing in modern time, but I don't necessarily consider them to be modern directors, like because they're legend directors, like Spielberg and Zemeckis and the late Harold Ramis, and you know, like people that I think were just incredible and still think are incredible directors, but again, they're like legendary, you know, status, and then the other directors I was referring to are kind of, I don't know, more of this generation, even though they're a bit older than me. The Coen brothers. I think Raising Arizona and The Big Lebowski are two of the greatest films ever made. And Oh Brother, Where Art Thou, I think is really up there too. And other things. They're just, Fargo. Like, I mean, anybody that can make a movie that can terrify you and make you laugh your ass off that's an incredible gift. Oh, Egon was your favorite Ghostbuster? Yeah. Man, Ghostbusters was so great. I still have some memories and some love of Ghostbusters too, even though it really doesn't hold up much as a movie. But I love that little art curator, like the European art curator guy. He's such a brilliant actor. He was on Ally McBeal, I think, or whatever. But he was like, "It's Vigo, it's Vigo!" Like, he was so good. He was so good. Oh, made the whole movie for me. Dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria. Everything was going fine until Dickless here shut down the power. Is this true? Yes, it's true. This man has no dick. Oh, man. It's just... Favorite Adam Sandler movie? I don't know. I think... Oh, somebody asked earlier, is this 10,000 Hours? Yes, that is the song. Now that I've heard that. This is a random playlist. It's not mine. It's a great song. I don't... what were we talking about? I legitimately can't remember what we were talking about. Oh, I remember. Yeah. So I think my favorite Sandler movie is actually... what was that? Punch Drunk Love? I'm pretty sure that's the name of it. Which is also... Was that a Paul Thomas Anderson movie? I think that might have been a Paul Thomas Anderson movie. Am I smoking crack? I think it might have been. I think it was, actually. Anyway, that I think is my favorite, just because it was such an incredible, different turn, and I think he crushed it. I thought he was so good, and it was just so different than all the rest of the stuff that he had done prior to that, and a lot of that was super funny. I mean, early Sandler, Billy Madison and Happy Gilmore specifically, even some of the other stuff beyond that, I could quote those whole fucking movies. I loved them. But Punch Drunk Love was... I'm pretty sure that's the name of the movie, isn't it? Am I... Anyway. Happy anniversary to me? Anniversary of what? Favorite animated movie? Woo! Hang on now. Favorite animated movie? I don't know. That's really difficult. There's so many different... I mean, I'm sure it probably resides somewhere in the Disney Pixar universe, just because I find them to have always been amongst the best. At least for a kid in my culture, or in my kind of growings up or whatever. Not that anime and stuff like that wasn't around, and obviously even though we didn't know it as kids, we were watching a lot of anime and all of the repurposed cartoons and stuff that we were getting from Japan, and Voltron and shit like that, which is amazing. But I'm legitimately trying to think of what animated movie had the most impact on me. Hey guys, I know what Tangled. Yes, I love Tangled. Clearly, I love Tangled. I'm just trying to be objective about it, I think it's I think Tangled's an incredible movie. Don't get me wrong. It's in my top 3, top 5, top 3, whatever. It's in there. But there are so many incredible movies that predated Tangled, the likes of which we only existed because we built on that whole heritage and all that history, you know? I don't know. I think Aladdin still might be my favorite, to be honest. If I can think of something else that might beat that, then I think it's still going to be Aladdin. For me and my generation growing up, like Aladdin was my dude. You know what I mean? Like all of the other Disney prince or princess movies were all princess. This was the first prince. This is the first time a dude got to be the lead of a Disney movie, and he was super cool. And he had a dope little monkey, and a flying carpet, and a genie who was Robin Williams, who could essentially impersonate anyone he wanted, even in the future, because genies are outside of time and space. So he could be Jack Nicholson. You know what I mean? Like, come on. That's just an incredible film. Yeah. But I also really love a lot of the stuff that Pixar has done. And, like, I don't know, being able to really bring you to tears. Like, what they do in Up, for example. The beginning of that movie. Like, you cry. You legitimately cry. It's animation. It's not even... Like, when you go to a movie, you know it's a story. But you're actually looking at real people. Like a live-action movie. You're looking at real people reenacting that emotion. You're connecting to them. That you should be able to connect to them easier and more deeply because it's a representation of you in real life. So you know it's fake, but they're emoting like a real person. This is, you know it's fake, and they're not even real people. They're animated people, and they still are able to evoke such an incredible message, or such an incredible emotion, an emotional response out of you. I loved it. I loved WALL-E. Oh my gosh. Oh, WALL-E's fantastic. If you haven't seen WALL-E in a minute, go back and watch WALL-E. It's so good. It's so incredibly nuanced. I love that there's no dialogue in that movie. Like what an incredible not just exercise in that art, but also message. Like there's so much you can communicate without having to talk and use exposition to do it. You can tell a whole movie just through the pictures as you move through it. And great storytellers, great filmmakers, animators, whatever, writers, that they understand that. That's like why a movie like The Big Chill, I don't know if you've ever seen The Big Chill, you'll know what I'm talking about. If you haven't seen The Big Chill, then go watch The Big Chill, and then you'll know what I'm talking about. But The Big Chill, it's so wonderfully written, performed, and directed. But one of the things I love about it is that they don't waste a lot of time giving you backstory through people talking about what happened in the past. You learn about it as things are kind of happening. Even you learn about the characters themselves in the beginning of the movie, just in how they respond to a bit of news, and then how they pack their bag to go to a place. In the opening credits, there's no dialogue. You're just seeing how each one of these people packs their bag, and it tells a story of who that person is, just through the picture, the visual of it. That's great storytelling. And yes, Big Chill also has a fantastic soundtrack. That's true. And Kevin Costner, fun fact, Kevin Costner, also spoiler alert, although I mean not really a spoiler because it's the beginning of the movie, is the dead friend in the beginning of the movie. It's Kevin Costner. That's actually his body. Pete's Dragon, the original Pete's Dragon is pretty dope for sure. I did love that. A dragon, I swear it was a dragon. Passamahuna, Passamakaga, it's Passamaquoddy. I was getting there. Oh man, that would be a fun role. Oh, that would be a fun role. Yeah. How did I get into acting? I just loved entertaining people. Ever since I was a little kid, I think at a very young age, I was able to put together that, like maybe at around 4, it was the first time I was cognizant enough to recognize that I could intentionally make someone laugh, and that made them feel good, and then that made me feel good, and then I was addicted to that forever. So, for better or for worse, wanting to cheer people up and bring people joy and make people feel loved. And like, I love it. It's the best. It's the greatest drug ever. So that started me off in just the pursuit of entertaining. And then I found acting through just being an entertainer. So, my back, guys, my posture is so bad. It's like, I keep like crunching down. Oh, that's a pretty decent one too. First theater role. First like Broadway theater role, or first like any play I ever did? Matt Travis 11. Yes, I remember a primetime weekend at Disney California Adventure. What a crazy couple of years we had there, right? 4 years we did that. If I didn't act, May Jessen asks, if I didn't act, what would I do? I would be, if somehow I just stopped acting right now after I'd already been building relationships and experience in the entertainment industry, I might probably just pivot to something in the entertainment industry. But if I just like never pursued acting at all and took a completely different path, I would probably want to be something like a teacher of some kind. Like helping to help people in some way. I don't know. I think my personality is such that I would want to use. I would want to entertain for the purposes of helping, and I think as a teacher, in some ways, you have a very interesting, captive audience. And as long as you can figure out what wavelength to be on to engage with them, and they don't feel like you're against them, that you're for them and you're with them, without trying to be like over cool or whatever with the younger kids, I don't know, just like gaining trust with them and saying, listen, I'm here to help. That's it. And I think I can help you. You can learn this stuff and make it as engaging as possible. I just remember being in a lot of my high school classes. And there were some teachers that I thought did a pretty decent job, but a lot of teachers, I was like, why are you even doing this? Why did you do this? Your heart's not in it. And I'm sure that they probably didn't feel very, respected or appreciated based on salaries or things like that. I know that we need to appreciate and respect our teachers far more. And I think we're learning a lot of that right now. But at the same time, like, don't take that on the kids. You know what I mean? Like, if the way things are going down in the way a school or paying teachers and what the government does and all that stuff, the way however that's handled, like I'm sure that there's a lot to be left, a lot to be desired and for teachers and how all that stuff goes down. And I want them to be respected and taken care of, as I want everyone in our society to be respected and taken care of. But if you're in the middle of your job, know that there's a bunch of kids on the other side of that that are still dependent on you, and so I would just, I don't know. And again, I can't speak for any of those teachers. I just know that I loved the teachers that still made it engaging, that still made it somewhat interesting, that were trying to connect and not just talking at you and making you abide by, weird subjective rules that didn't really necessarily make sense all the time, and power trips and all that shit. I think part of the problem is that as adults, we're not trained to look at people who are younger than us as we don't have a lot of patience with ourselves. a lot of patience wasn't offered us, so we don't offer patience down. And I think the more we can try to, I don't know, even start at the earliest of ages, looking at even babies and going like, there's a whole adult in there. Right, look at a newborn. Look them in the eyes and go, there's an entire adult. There's an entire life in this little package. It just hasn't fully developed, hasn't fully grown to that space yet, but it will. And you have the opportunity to nourish that and guide that and steward that and foster that life to the best possible life that they can have. And the more patience we can have with it, the I think far more loved it's going to feel, and therefore the more capable it is going to feel, and the more successful it will be in the long run. And I mean not just parents, but also other adults, in the way we look at younger kids and generations, and the way teachers look at younger kids and generations. I know that I didn't like the way some teachers would look at me or some of my peers, the way that we were just like nuisances or idiots or whatever that is, which, by the way, we may have been on some level, but you're the adults. You're the wiser one. You're the one who should be able to see that and be like, they are acting, well, you know what? Mental health is only now kind of given us a lot of tools that even when I was growing up, teachers didn't understand either. So I'm not gonna drag anybody, but let's do better now. Let's move forward better now, and let's have patience with one another. The students would have patience with their teachers, and then the teachers would have patience with the students, and that the parents and students would appreciate the teachers, and that really we all would, and that we would all appreciate our doctors. I think, and obviously right now we're being reminded of that hugely. We're being reminded to be appreciative of our doctors and our teachers right now in this crazy time. So I don't know. Yada, yada, yada. I could talk forever about it, you know? This really is a banging cover, by the way. It's so good. What's the cheesiest pickup line? I mean, I never really used any cheesy pickup lines. I was just cheesy enough as an individual. I didn't need to cheesify the line. I probably tried to use a very legitimate line, and I just cheeseballed it up. Hey, pretty lady, can I offer you a cosmopolitan? Oh, man. I wear my sunglasses at night. Did it hurt? Did what hurt? When you fell from heaven? Favorite Robin Williams movie? I mean, Aladdin is one of them. Mrs. Doubtfire. Good Will Hunting. Ooh. Oh, he's so good in that movie. That movie's so good. But Robin Williams, ooh, so good in that movie. Dead Poets Society. Good Morning Vietnam. Popeye. I loved Popeye. It's such a cheeseball hook fest, but I mean, I was a kid when it was like on cable all the time. Because, by the way, all of us kids that kind of grew up in like the 80s, 90s, keep in mind that a bunch of the movies that we loved were horrible movies, or at least they were not well received, which is why they were on cable nonstop when we were growing up. The cable network just bought up all the cheap ass titles and then would just replay them, and those would be our babysitters. So like Clue, the movie Clue, that didn't do well at all in the movie theaters. It bombed, nobody liked it, and then we made it a cult phenomenon because we watched it endlessly on HBO or whatever. Crazy. Awakenings, yes. Oh, Awakenings was fantastic. Also, Insomnia. Remember that? That whack ass. Oh, whew, that was good. The Princess Bride, yes. Well, wait, he wasn't in the. What? Am I smoking crack? No, Robin Williams wasn't in The Princess Bride. But you know what movie Robin Williams is in? I had put together a long time ago when I was a kid. And then recently watched again, and then realized that in the credits, his name is not in the credits. He's uncredited in the movie, but The Adventures of Baron Munchausen. Robin Williams is in that. Also another great Robin Williams role, and a great movie, by the way. If you've never seen Baron Munchausen, you have definitely see that. Terry Gilliam, another director, by the way. Again, he's more of a classic director now at this point, but still directs modernly. But another great director. Oh man, his style is so interesting. Time Bandits. He did Fear and Loathing, I think, didn't he? Pretty sure he did. Could be wrong. Queen BIHXXX, where you been? I've been Back to the Future. Yes, I love Back to the Future. I love Back to the Future. Favorite Christmas movie? I mean, probably It's a Wonderful Life. No, that's not true. Because I don't watch it nearly as much as some other Christmas movies. I just love it so much. I love it very much so. Favorite? I don't know. I love Scrooged. I think it's just a great movie. Hook, yeah, not as a Christmas movie, but yes, I've seen Hook many times. Hook also completely tanked at the box office and then became kind of a cult classic for the kids of our generation, for sure. Home Alone's a great Christmas movie too. Video game high school, how did I choose that accent? I don't know. I always try, if I can, and if the creators let me, like Steve Franks and Roday and everybody over at Psych that let me do an English accent for the Thin White Duke. Freddie Wong and the gang over at Rocket Jump, you know, when they let me just play around and I just always like throwing an accent, and if I can, to just make it different from other stuff that I've done. And I just thought, I don't know, like Ace, it just felt like he should be a little like, you know, have a little like southern drawl or twang to him, and that was Ace. Don't repeat it, you know what I mean? Like it just felt appropriate for the fun and the joke of it. So that's what I did. What's a movie I can never get tired of? Groundhog Day, which is ironic, but it's true. It's so good. It's so good. Favorite ice cream, cookies and cream. Favorite horror movie? I don't really have favorite horror movies. I just have never really been into the horror genre. I don't know. Not that I haven't, you know, watched a few that were interesting or that I thought were kind of cool concepts and stuff, but they just don't appeal to me as much. Favorite John Candy movie? I don't know. I mean, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles is kind of most seemingly. I think that. I mean, he was incredible, and The Great Outdoors, Uncle Buck, you know, like. I mean, even in Home Alone, polka. He was so good. Oh, so sad. What else we got, guys? I think Like Cool Runnings, right? Yes, that was John Candy was the coach in Cool Runnings, wasn't he? Right? Somebody verify this for me. I'm pretty sure that was the case. Favorite musical is probably Singing in the Rain, honestly. I want to learn how to tap well enough to do just even a basic version of a Singing in the Rain. I would love to do that. Yes, he is the coach. Oh my gosh, that's right. It's Cool Runnings. Feel the rhythm. Feel the rhyme. Come on, boys. It's bobsled time. Cool Runnings. It's Sanka. You dead? Yeah, man. If you could be a villain in any movie, would I don't know. I'm sure I've thought about this before, but I can't access that memory right now if I have. What? That should have been a lot louder. I apologize. What are some great bad guys? I don't know. A new one that hasn't been done. When I make a hip hop TikTok, probably not. That's right. My faith, my tribe, my hoverboard. No, I never had a family in Louisiana, actually. I was born there just kind of randomly. My dad was working at a power plant out there when I happened to pop out. So then I was there in Lake Charles, Louisiana, in Calcasieu Parish for about 2 months, and then we boogied out. Went back to Southern California. We don't have a rescheduled date yet for Michael Rosenbaum Inside of You Live, but as soon as we do, that will be revealed in its time. I don't know what the world's going to look like in the next 2 months to 2 years, to be honest, guys. I am remaining cautiously optimistic and hoping for all of the best and believing for all of the best, but it'll be very interesting to see how all this stuff plays out. And that's why I was saying earlier, I think it's good that we prepare ourselves for that. Not that we're going to have to necessarily be in quarantine for, longer. I don't know. I don't even know what each one of your states or countries are doing right now, but I do think that the concept of very strange and stringent social distancing will still be applied all over the place, which means I don't know what happens to live shows. I don't know what happens to concerts. I don't know what happens to sporting events. I don't know what happens to the Olympics. I don't know what happens to conventions. I don't know what happens to going and doing our live Inside of You podcast show in Austin is something that me and Michael still would love to do. I just have no idea what the new policies are ultimately going to be. That will be, I'm sure slightly even maybe different state to state even, or definitely country to country, but also state to state here in the United States. So. First concert that I've ever been to. I think I said this just the other night, but it was the Cranberries opening for Collective Soul. Me and my cousin Nikki, who's just the rockiest rock star. Do I like to cook or bake? No, I don't know how to cook or bake, but I love to eat things that other people cook and bake. I'm super down for that. It's a good tune too. Who does this one? Who does? Last concert I went to, I'm not sure. Maybe it might have been Austin City Limits, to be honest. I don't know that I went to another concert after that. And Mumford and Sons closed, and we saw them close it. So, oh man. Guys, I might be crashing into my bedtime. Why are there so many Zach impersonators on Instagram? Because there's so many lost, broken souls in the world that are trying to lie in order to inflate their own worth that they are sorely lacking right now, which is really unfortunate, and I feel bad for them. I feel bad for anyone who feels like they have to lie or steal or cheat or deceive anyone else in order to succeed in this life. You don't have to do that. If you're out there right now and you think it's cool or fun, or you don't think there's anything wrong with going and impersonating other people, even if you're not asking people for money, even if you're just like doing it for your own shits and giggles, it's not fun, it's not funny. You're lying to people, you're misleading, you're taking advantage of people's trust. Please don't do it. Don't impersonate me, don't impersonate other people. I highly encourage people to use their own picture and their own information as their avatar and their, identify yourself. I'll tell you what. That's actually, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna say this right now. I go through my DMs on Instagram and Twitter and whatever places I have message boxes and inboxes. But I'm gonna make it a rule right now that. And I don't often interact with people who send messages, but occasionally I do because it's something it's very interesting or pertinent or whatever. But I'm going to make a rule right now. If I ever interact with anyone online, it will only be someone who does not have someone else's picture as their avatar picture. If you do not have your own picture, and by the way, I vet these things. Like I'll look into people's profiles. I know, if you're literally using my picture or some other like actor's picture or whatever, I want to know the authentic you. If you want to be the authentic you and you want to send me a message, I might take a look at it. But if you're not being the authentic you, if you're still, and by the way, and I don't think you're even trying to be deceptive necessarily. I think some of you feel like you yourself don't have enough worth to just be your authentic you. That people will only interact with you or talk to you if somehow you put a celebrity's picture in your little image for your profile on Instagram or Twitter. Don't do that. Don't do that. You are worthy of your face being where your face goes. You are worthy of your name and your whatever information you want to share going there. Not some anonymous name, not some anonymous face, we have to stop being anonymous to one another. We have to start allowing ourselves, being vulnerable enough and strong enough and courageous enough to be our actual selves and encourage other people to be their actual selves and love each other for our actual selves. And not feel like you're not enough because you're not celebrity X or celebrity Y. You are worthy of you are worthy of having your own image be on your own social media. You are worthy of having your own image represent you on your own social media. Does that make sense? Let that sink in. You are worthy of using your own face to represent yourself, your profiles amongst your social media. You do not have to go and put something else on. And again, you do whatever you want to do. But I'm not only encouraging you to do it because I think it's good for you to stand boldly into who you are, but I will say, I will not, if you're ever hoping to ever get a response from me, I will not respond to anyone. I'm making that pact right now. So I hope that encourages you more to be your authentic self. That's all. And you should be. We shouldn't be these anonymous people to one another anymore. And being, shifty about stuff and piling on and attacking people without even, by the way, faceless, nameless, just like, these motherfuckers, like, what? And by the way, I know, because I've seen all this shit go down. Even people that are my fans and followers who go aggro on other people that I disagree with online. I never ask anybody to come to my defense. I don't want anybody to come to my defense. I'm not looking for a defense. I am conversing with someone online, and I am illustrating the conversation so people can see, so it can hopefully be a learning lesson for me, for them, for everybody involved. Here's yet another way that two people are not being able to work together because of the words that are being spewed. So it's like, okay, let's bring that to attention. Is that the best way to attack this? And by the way, I'm also not saying that I've handled myself perfectly in all these things either, but I've darn tried. And I don't need people all of a sudden, because I'm disagreeing with someone and trying to make a point of showing some logic. You don't need to jump in. I don't need another fucking Johnny quarterback. Like, I got the next play, boss. No, you don't. You're good. Just chill. Just chill. Because oftentimes those who are coming to my defense or whatever, you're not coming in love. You're not. I'm trying to come in love. You're coming in shame and hate. I don't want any of that around any of the conversations that I'm having about anything or anyone. I'm tired. I'm gonna go to bed now. I'm gonna go to bed now. I'm gonna go to... Embrace your own image. Yes. If you, by the way, and do whatever you want to do. You want to put an image of Cookie Monster in your, I've got an animated version of me in mind, but that's just because I know that you know what I look like. I have one of those blue checks next to my name, and most of the people who follow me know who the fuck they're following if they're following me. I don't have to remind you, like, that's that person. And I also do a lot of this stuff, so I hope you guys know that I'm trying to be my authentic self. I just thought putting up there, that's a fun little wink for all the fans, But, maybe somebody's like, no, it's the same thing. I'm happy to hear whatever your argument about that would be. I don't think it is, but irregardless, I want to know the real yous out there. Not the, not the not yous. All right, kids. I think that's my time. I hate you. Wow, I hate you. Okay. Any last minutes? Last minute requests. Hello, Malaysia. Okay. I'm gonna go to bed. Love y'all. Talk to you so soon.